Let me see here. Good?
Yeah.
Okay, 3, 2. Hello everyone, my name is Quinton.
And I'm Ricky Jessy.
And welcome to another episode of the Truth Control Show. In this episode, we wanted to talk to you about meditation. And we have a meditation expert with us today.
Sure, buddy.
Well,
you wanted, people have been asking us about meditation, and I myself meditate on a daily basis. And the reason I meditate, one thing I want to make clear to everyone though, is that the first thing and one thing that I learned throughout the years was that at first meditation to me was becoming kind of like prayer, where I also was doing it because I expected something, I guess, like in return, and I would get something out of it. But then I realized that the attachment to the meditations was what was holding me down more than anything, because a lot of us hold an attachment and thinking, oh, by meditating my life will get better. And it's what meditation really is an opening to your true self and to your inner peace and your calmness and your connection to the universe, basically. And because most of the times we see this body and we think that this is all we are. And so we look for everything outside ourselves to try to make ourselves calmer. Usually we think that we want to find a solution if we're disconnected to the world. We think something's missing, so we search outside. And when you learn how to quiet your mind, which is, your million thoughts that you get on a daily basis, you actually learn to live in a more peaceful way. And it comes through meditation. And meditation doesn't only mean that you sit in lotus position for 8 hours and hoping that you'll get enlightened. Meditation is just a calming of your mind, your thoughts, and connecting back to your true self and understanding that you're not this body, but you're bigger than this body. You're eternal. You're a spirit, and you're only connecting to your true self, which is the essence of everything that is all around us. And through meditation, I've learned myself that when I connect to that part of me, that's still part of me, the peacefulness in me, I see things a lot more clearer. And for some reason, I get answers on problems that I thought there wasn't an answer to, or things like that. And it just calms me down. But as I was telling Quinton is a meditator too, but he meditates in different ways, because meditation can be during a walk, can be during your exercise routine, and he gets a lot of revelations through his workouts. I do too, though, but it's like it can be any different ways of meditating.
yeah, and don't because a lot of people say when you meditate you should basically try to clear your mind, and when you get thoughts, kind of let them go, right? Is that?
Yeah.
But is that the only way to do it, or is that
the thing is that when you're meditating, a lot of times what happens, for some reason, all these thoughts start coming through, and people tend to sway from the meditation because they start thinking of of those thoughts. It can be something from the past. It can be something in the future, something that you're planning on doing, or things like that. So what happens is that you lose all focus on your meditation.
And what should the focus be?
The focus should be your breathing. Your breathing.
Okay.
And the essence of breathing. One thing I've learned throughout many teachers and books that I've read, a lot of them say like there's this book that I'm reading right now, and she talks about how when she went on a retreat, it's a new book by Jennifer Grace, which is it's a pretty good
What's it
book.
called?
It's I don't know the name of it.
The one you just got?
It starts with Destiny, but it's Jennifer Grace. She used to be an actress, a director, and it's a very awesome book. But she says that she went on a 3-hour retreat on meditation. Well, it was going to be 18 hours total because it was for the whole weekend. And she says that, she kept thinking thoughts, and she was like, there's no way I can do this. Because for some reason, when you start meditating, there's like a million thoughts start coming to you, just like crazy. And one thing you want to do at that point is focus on your breathing. And one technique she says for us to use is just say the word thinking in your mind. Thinking, 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 which is going to take you away from those thoughts and bring you back to your breathing. But my main focus with me, what I do and what I tell Quinton, I focus on my breathing. I realize that through my breathing, I can tell if I'm balanced or unbalanced. Most of the times I'm unbalanced, of course, but it brings me back to my core, to my center. And what it does, my breathing, makes me realize that what I'm breathing in, I'm like understanding more, and I'm connecting more to the universe, and I'm understanding that the power is there within me. So there's there's many types of breathing, but two of the breathings, the one the Buddha did was with his inner core, which is stomach, which was a heavy breathing through your stomach. And it's like different ways of doing it, but it's just letting it all come and releasing. Coming in and releasing. And Buddhists use it a lot. And I mean, I've met several Buddhists, and I went to this man was I can't think of his name, but it was in the church that I've attended, Unity, and he was a guest speaker, and he was saying on how there's no particular way really. It's just the main thing, and like I told you in one of my revelations, it's all in the breathing. You go into deep meditation through your breathing, and every time you start getting out of alignment or you start thinking of other things, just focus on your breathing.
Now, is it wrong to have like a focus outside of other than breathing when you're meditating?
Well,
like, because I don't know if what I do is meditating, but a lot of the time what I do, like what I like to do just personally is I like to, like I'll have like a problem or something that I'm working on, something I'm trying to figure out, and then I'll usually if I just try to force it and I try to just think really hard on it, it doesn't do anything. I need to kind of more relax.
Well, yeah,
so
and at that point you're letting go, you're detaching from it.
Yeah, so what I like to do though is I kind of, in the back of my head, I know what I'm trying to accomplish, what I'm trying to figure out. Like kind of when I was writing my book and stuff. Like I'll have certain ideas, but I don't quite know where to go with it. So what I do is I put music on, like some type of like peaceful music or something, usually without vocals though. I'll lay down and then I'll just kind of just sit there and relax and just try to let things just kind of flow.
That's meditation. I do that.
Okay.
I use that form of meditation a lot.
That's something
too.
that I've always done, and it works well because when I'm relaxed and when I'm not really thinking about it, but I'm just kind of open, then you
start getting revelations.
Yeah, things fall.
They fall into place.
Yeah, because you're not forcing it.
But
and you're letting new possibilities happen and that kind of thing. And
you see, you're meditating at that point with yourself, and you're detaching from the situation, whatever it may be, or whatever you're working on. You're detaching completely. What a lot of people do is they attach themselves to like meditation. They think like, oh well, something's gonna come out of this. I want to get something out of this.
Right.
I want to get an answer. At the point that you're doing that, you're still wanting to control.
Yeah, exactly. It's like when
you gotta detach completely.
Like when
you gotta let go.
People are like working hard on something, and it's like they say like you need to take a break because you just keep forcing more like the same thing, but you need to actually just take a break and you need to kind of let it go, like you said.
Because at that point you're only trying to control the situation. When you leave it to the universe, it will fall into place. When you leave it to, people call it God, I call it everything, my source. It comes to you. It's given an answer.
I think that's part of why a lot of people get revelations, like when they're in the shower, or certain places where you're relaxed or where you're not necessarily thinking about it because you're in a way like meditating, right?
Because you're at peace with yourself. You're living in the moment of now.
And so it just kind of hits you out of nowhere because you're just letting it come.
Yeah, you're letting it. You're detached from a situation because let's say you're in the shower. You're enjoying your shower. You're enjoying the water. You love how it feels on your body. You're just like completely in the shower, and at that point you're not thinking of anything else. So boom, there comes a revelation.
Yeah.
You're at the gym. A lot of people go to the gym and their main focus is I want my body to look better. They're not focusing on like, okay, right now I'm running, therefore I'm letting my whole body run. I'm meditating. my body to completely accept everything. Every single bone in your body, if you let it run and you take in the running aspect of it and you really connect to it, then you're like meditating, because you're living in the moment of now, whereas like you're not thinking, oh, when I lose this 10 pounds, then I'm gonna feel much better about myself. No. It's happened to me at the gym many times when I'm working out, and I get so many revelations.
Me too.
As well as you.
I get them all the time.
And it's amazing, because you're just like thinking, wow, that sometimes becomes my daily inspiration thought. Or, or sometime in my meditations, I just sit. I wake up at 4 a.m. in the morning, and I just sit with myself. And it's some sort of prayer at the same time. One thing that I don't agree with as far as prayer goes is that people keep asking for the same thing over and over and over again. So at that point, when you keep asking for the same thing in prayer all the time, you're holding on to it. You're not releasing it and letting it go. So how is it going to come to you and come to play in your life when you haven't let go of that situation?
It sounds like the main part of meditation / prayer is letting go. It's just kind of
just letting go and just being with you, because you are a spirit. You're not a body. And when you're connecting to the true essence, to the nothingness, when a lot of people start seeing pictures and so forth and things like that, which is okay, because you can visualize and you can call out the universe, look, this is what I want, and send out an image. But in reality, the universe is only going to pick up on your energy and what you're feeling. But a lot of times in meditation, if you go into it and expect nothing and realize that you're part of the nothingness, and that all the space around you is energy, and everything at the same time becomes you. You become your sofa, you become your mirror, you become part of the oneness that is. Your meditations just become better and better throughout time. I'm not saying that you can't do it and just become a great meditator. I know it's taken me years to perfect it, and not because I want to perfect it, but because I always thought I needed to get something out of it. And if I meditated, something's gonna be given to me. I realized that when I stopped detaching from things and I wasn't expecting anything, I let go of me needing something. That detachment, that letting go, was what gave me my clear mind and connected me back to spirit.
Yeah, I agree. Mm-hmm.
And it's the nothingness. That's what you want to feel. You want to just feel the nothingness. You just want to feel the noise behind the noise. You want to feel when you're saying a word, like right now that I'm speaking. After I stop speaking, before the other word starts, there's a silence. There's an echo. There's the in between. And that's where you want to connect. That's where space lives, which is a nothingness, which is part of your meditation, which is part of what we are. So to me, the best thing is just focus on your breathing. What is breathing really? It's just the essence of the universe coming in. One thing that Buddhists do is I believe it's called Tongplen, Tongplen, which is helping people. It's kind of like prayer. You breathe in somebody's problem, like let's say you want to help somebody with cancer, per se, so then you breathe in not only that person's cancer or pain, but everybody that's in the same situation. You're breathing it all in your breath, and in your breath out, you're sending out peace to them. But the way to connect is whoever the person, like in my case, let's say I have a friend that needs my help in some sort of way. To me, that's some sort of a prayer, because I'm breathing in life and I'm helping her take the pain. I'm taking it in for her, and then at the same time, I'm not holding on to it. I'm releasing it and sending love to her. So you're connecting to everybody and everyone at the same time.
Now, for me, I don't know if what I do is probably I don't know if it's as much of a meditation then, because for me, it seems like it's more powerful when not to focus on breathing, but more to focus on being just at peace and relaxed and happy, kind of But I don't know if that ties in, or if you're saying that.
But I mean, eventually, we started our little routine, Quinton, with we said we're gonna start meditating at least, and I had my first session on meditation with Quinton yesterday. We put a timer on and we meditated for 10 minutes. And after we came out of it, I was explaining to Quinton there was the noise of the air conditioner and different noises, and when you're meditating and you start hearing a noise and it starts annoying you, become one with the noise. And I told Quinton, you become one with the noise that's irritating to you, and you just let it in, and you just become one with that noise. And you become one with everything, and at that point you see things differently. I heard your little noises you were making, like you were doing things like that. But the thing is, and I told you, just focus on your breathing. You're saying that you do it differently, but hopefully eventually that's something that will help you.
Yeah, because I guess like we've said, there's lots of different ways to meditate because.
But you know what's so weird? Because I've read so many books throughout my years, and I've talked to, I've read up on the Buddha, on Paramahansa Yogananda, and I've read up on so many people, and I got that revelation. I wrote on it on Peace Be Blessed. I don't know if it's published, but it just came from my heart, and I told you this. The only thing I needed to do was focus on my breathing, and that's a big revelation that I got. Yeah. There's many ways to meditate, many ways, but
I see it in a way like
but I want them to get this out of this. The main one is your breathing, because you always go back to your breathing. Without your breath of life here in this earth, you don't get anything. If you didn't have breath, your body would just not exist. And I think that's a connection to the universe. It's our breathing, our connection of breathing in and out. Of course, Quinton is a type that always has to find a solution to something else. He's always like, you can tell him it's black and he'll argue with you and tell you it's white until it becomes white. So, he's saying, I agree with his meditations, don't get me wrong. I think his meditations are awesome, however he does it. But to me, the main focus is breathing. Because when you're doing that, you're mellowed down. When you're doing, in whatever way you're breathing, if you notice, maybe more revelations would come to you if you really focus on your breathing.
Yeah, I guess now, too, might be a good time to say, about 6 or 7 years ago, I went on a fast, like a hardcore fast, where I didn't eat anything, I only drank water. I did that for like 2 or 3 days, and it was interesting because after, I think it was during the second day, maybe the third, it was kind of like a hardcore meditation, but it was like you're living in a meditation now, because like you start becoming less your body and you become more like your spirit, so like it's just interesting because it was kind of like when I meditate and I kind of relax and I just let everything be, like when I get in that state,
your body.
Yeah, that's when I fasted. I was like that 24/7. So like even if I was just walking around interacting, I was still like in that meditative state. And I don't know, I just thought it's something to mention, but it's
I think it was awesome because you told me some things about that, and you said that you started feeling like you were no longer your body and you could see everything more clear.
It was really clear because I've written about this before on my blog, but any type of like anything that was happening, I knew like the reason or the answer, just everything behind it, and like it was really crazy. Like just I'd have questions and then the answers would come immediately.
And we should do that one on another show because I have a lot to say on that as far as the energy and how you connect completely. Because we're always thinking we're this body.
And I'm thinking that's kind of what meditation is bringing us towards that type of connectedness where everything is like we're like completely connected and everything makes sense and there's clarity and that type of thing.
Yeah, you see clarity, you see clearer, you see peace, you feel the peace that you are. Because in reality, all that we're seeing, we're creating. And this body is really, as hard as it is to believe, it's just an illusion. Like in the ghost world that I was telling you about, people say, well, why can ghosts go through walls? Because when you're already back in spirit, the wall doesn't mean anything to the ghost, because the ghost is already back to its normal stage, which is spirit, which can walk past a wall, because the wall doesn't constrain him anymore to be living the way we live, because everything that we see is moving at the same time, but we see it as mass just being bugged down. And it's the same, like I tell you with prayer is a sort of meditation. But one thing that I've always told Quinton, one thing that people do wrong when they're praying is that they hold on to that prayer instead of letting it go.
Yeah.
So if you're meditating on something that you really want, you just connect to you ask the universe, and then you let it go. You don't hold on to it, and every time you keep asking, because then you're gonna confuse the law of attraction, the energy.
Because part of it is like you're saying, when you keep asking, it's like you're forcing your kind of non-connected perspective, like
you're not believing
like it's like
anymore.
it's like a false premise though. It's like you're starting from your view, your less high view, I guess, trying to think that that's where you start, but where you should start is from your higher self, and then bring it into you, rather than start here and try to make it work.
Which is it's a way of forcing it, which it's not going to happen, because we really in reality don't have control of anything in our lives. We think we do, but we don't. You know, there's one of the last books I read, Pema Chodron. She's a Buddhist monk. She talks about that. She goes, well, that there's different types of Buddhists, but in one of I guess the ordinances or their Buddhist ways of thinking is that we always think that we're here to be awakened, and in reality, everybody's already awakened. We came to experience this, and everybody's already awakened. And so do we really have a choice? Maybe not, because everything's already orchestrated and ordained. Everything, the people you're gonna meet, who you're gonna encounter. So that's something to think about. If you think about it, we're already awakened. We already have that power within us, and through meditation you connect to that power, and you can make it so. But don't expect to get things back. Just know that you can be still, and in that stillness your answers will come, your healings will come. Whatever you're calling is gonna come. Through prayer you hold on to things. You keep on holding to things instead of letting them go. So there's a difference between meditation and prayer.
Sure.
And meditation has helped me in many ways. So I hope it helps you. And if this hasn't answered any of your questions, or if you have any other questions, please contact me at peacebeblessed.com.
And obviously truthcontrol.com.
And I will be starting what we call a spiritual corner in Truth Control.
Yep.
And I'll be writing a weekly, monthly blog, so you guys will also be able to contact me there.
Yeah, so be sure to check that out, and please comment, rate, and subscribe if you enjoyed this video.
And I really appreciate you guys requesting us to do these shows. And if you have any other ideas, something you want to know, if we can help you, go ahead and do it. And as I said, I have my website, and you guys can always ask for help, and I can see, I'm here to serve, and that's my purpose.
So thanks a lot for watching, everyone, and we will see you again.
Have a great week.
Real soon.
See you real soon.